Concrete Placement LLC, serving Hudson Valley, New York, with a wide variety of services, including installation and repair of driveways, garage floors, patios, sidewalks, walkways, and stairs. Stamped concrete, color, seal, and epoxy. All Crete is fully insured, 27 years of service. Contact today to get your quote.
You're looking for a good cut? Need a new barber? Look no more. House of Barbers got you. 3434 North Road, Poughkeepsie, New York. Up there by Hyde Park and Marist College. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 845-232-5036 for all your hairstyling needs.
It's finally TV, but you don't need cable or sling to see me. Black on his soapbox, Gabe in his bag. Now that's some real black ink. Load the 9 with the mag. First take, the last take. We can juggle the top. Like a barber with the clips, the way we talk in the shop. And since life is like a movie, we gon' stick to the plot. That's why we sponsored by the brand and scrape the white off the top. Get it? That means we dope. So I'm money my brothers and sisters to stay woke. And we gon' lace the product with facts and straight jokes. The voice of the valley is here to spread hope. Supports a steep slope. They gon' have to let me cook. I don't know how to stop. From the culture to the music, anything else hot. Catch us every Tuesday once you step in the house. Cause all they really wanna know, what we talking about. I'm out.
Ooh, and here we go. Another episode of What We Talking About. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to another edition of the What We Talking About podcast, brought to you every Tuesday, 7 p.m. right here on Facebook and YouTube. The fine people of Finally TV doing this for us. So shout out to Angie, because we know that this isn't possible without her. Shout out to my co-host and co-creator extraordinaire, King Blackout in the building. How you doing, sir?
Shit.
All right. We are with the shits today. We're gonna be talking about it. We're a little spicy. We in good mood. We got new stuff. We like kids in the Christmas shop. Like when Christmas Day come and you get that. Yeah, that's us today. That's us today. We waiting for today to come so we can talk about it. Shout out to everybody though. Shout out to everybody around the way. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Everybody who's hitting me up on the side, telling me, "Yo, keep going. When can I get an interview on there? When can I see you on Voice of the Valley? When can I check you out another IG Live?"
Yep.
Yo, speaking of the IG Live, I don't know if you know who he is. If you know, you know. But DJ Epps down in Miami, he got a pretty big presence, pretty big following. He be chilling with the big boys. You know, he be going to like Rick Ross's house and chilling and stuff, and chilling out with Nori and all that. But yo, I'm going on his show November 9th. Y'all can check me out. It's a Thursday. It's way past my bedtime. I think it's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. But his lives be jumping, and he does something cool on Thursday where he be interviewing people. So he bringing me on and let me talk my ish on there. So tap in. Yeah, man, I was happy about that. You know, he actually jumped on my live on IG for a hot second, and wherever he was at, it just wasn't right. So we just kind of cut it because it was like, let's not make this bad. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to cut your losses. So it was unfortunate, but it was dope because now I'm going to go on his platform, which might be really good for us over here at Finally TV. You know what I mean?
Already.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so if you haven't already, hit that minimize on this video right now. Hit the like for me. Hit the share. Let people know that you up in here. We would really appreciate that. Shout out to everybody over at Wapta Music, Culture Shock Radio, Tattoo Shop Radio, and For Sale Radio over there in Mexico, all powered by Zeno.fm on your online FM dial, man. And shout out to Blaze 'em Up Radio, my man DJ Poppy Blaze, man. He be replaying this twice a day. We get played on Tuesdays, Black, midnight and noon. Twice.
That's more than once.
That's more than once.
That's mad.
Shout out to DJ Poppy Blaze out there, who recently did an interview with the Rec Boys. I couldn't peep too much of it, but them my guys, man. Shout out to Rec Boys. They did their thing. Black man, it's been a week, brother. How you doing, man? How you feeling? Talk about it.
Still blessed and highly favored. I sound good.
You sound fantastic.
Beautiful, beautiful. My setup a little different. I feel good. My setup different. You know what I mean? I got my screenage right. I got my setup right. I got my new PC going. You know what I mean? I got my nice screen going. You know what I mean? I got the mic hanging off on a different side. Some different angles going. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my professionalism on, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got to have it in my mouth. It can pick me up. You know what I mean? So you can see my drip. We good. I'm feeling good. I did all this to end the show. I did all this at the end of the season on purpose.
Listen, you look good. You look good. Your background is interesting.
We're
gonna save that. We're gonna hold that. We're gonna let the people. Yo, she looks so fierce. Wow. 100% Catwoman. Nobody could do it better.
What's up, Rocky? Rocky tuned in early. He said he here early.
Well, we appreciate that, Rock, man. Sometimes I don't feel the love like I used to, but I understand we get busy. And Rock be on boats and yachts and getting big fish, counting them off on the internet. Like, what is he at, like 52 or some shit like that?
He be doing weird things. He be going to weird states to watch the Saints play. He be in stadiums he ain't got no business in. Don't ever go back to that stadium again, sir. I seen you. Look, I seen you. Don't be going over to that stadium. We don't rock with them.
Look, I ain't gonna hold you though. That's kind of like a bucket 23. Hell yeah. That's kind of like a bucket list thing for me to do, man, to get around and see at least some of the historic ones. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you're a San Fran fan, right? I'd love to go out there to Candlestick. You know what I'm saying? Or not? What's the name of your stadium now?
Levi Stadium now.
Yeah.
Candlestick forever though. You with it?
You know what I'm saying? I'd love to go see Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to go see the frozen tundra in Green Bay. I think that's probably a crazy game to watch. You know,
Lambeau Field and Jerry's World. Yeah, I see you.
Listen, the only thing I'm going to tell you is football by far my favorite sport, especially nowadays. It's my least favorite to watch in person.
Nah, because it's not comfortable. It's mad far.
Yeah.
It's happening during wintertime. Like it's a lot of negatives, bro.
You know, there ain't nothing like the crib and watching some football. You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel like basketball is cool.
Perfect.
But don't do nothing in the bleeds because that shit is terrible. Everything looks like an ant.
Yeah.
But a football stadium, way worse. If you up there, you might as well be at the airport. Like
you're watching the big screen more than anything else.
Pretty much.
You know,
pretty much.
I mean, there's nothing like the tailgating. Let's not get that twisted. I know that's a whole fact. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing like the tailgating. But the actual game.
I think the fun tailgating, bro, like the people who
barbecuing and
the camaraderie and the competitiveness of those who want to have fun, not the ones who like are actual dicks. But like you tailgating, I'm at your stadium, I'm wearing my Niners shit. I'm in, you know what I mean? I'm in Foxborough.
But we vibing though.
Yeah, we vibing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a game, bro.
Yeah. Friendly competitiveness.
It's a game. Shout out to everybody across the world, man. We really do appreciate y'all tapping in. And that's really, I meant to say this too. There's some of y'all that really been tapping in, like since we start in like March. When did we start this year? March, right?
Normally start late February.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Late February. And y'all been here the whole time, man. Like the J Royals of the world that be tapping in. You know what I mean? The Rocks, like the Rec Boys who be tuning in all the time. Angie who be tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Monster be tapping in. Some of y'all really been tapping in the whole time. And we really do appreciate that. And shout out to all the people who I don't know. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. You know, there's a lot of those. You know what I wanted to say on air, bro, just in case anybody got it twisted, because I kind of think sometimes people might mistake silence or, no scene engagement on the socials as some sort of hate or some sort of whatever. But shout out to Moochie Merchant, man. Moochie been moving, shaking. She got a whole show out here. Professionally produced, like she's getting guests on the joint. It's the Moochie Merchant Show. You can watch it on YouTube. She's trying to get it so that because it's based out of what is it, channel 11, is it? Something like that. But anyway, it's on the West Coast though. It's on the West Coast version of that channel. And in order for it to get syndicated across the nation, it needs to, garner like a following and really gain some momentum. So to help her do that, they got the YouTube channel going too, so that they could gauge like the excitement for the show itself. So I've been trying to, help her out that way, because I don't know if I don't have Peacock and all that other stuff. So there's no way for me to watch the actual channel that when it airs out there. But yeah, man, shout out Moochie Merchant, man. She breaking out, like, you know what I'm saying? And I know this was a big dream for her. So I just wanted to say on air that Finally TV salutes Moochie Merchant and what she doing. And I told her, because she asked me, she could come on here and chop it up with us about it. You know what I'm saying? But I haven't heard back from her. But that invite is there. The invitation is open. So just so y'all know. But yeah, man, shout out Moochie Merchant, man. Did you peep that? Did you see that she was doing all that?
I'm in the loop yet.
Yeah, no, that's dope, man. I salute that very much so, because that's something that I would love. Imagine if if that was me, right? It would end up being that. If Finally TV, it would be like a channel. It would be NBC. It would be FTV. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we gonna do this, man.
Yo, so before we dive in,
yeah.
I want to say this at the top. Can I have a little bit of my soapbox?
Absolutely. I'll give you full screen.
I'll take it. So look, last week we talked a little bit about. I talked a lot but we talked a little bit about the Israel-Palestine conflict. And I want to say this, and not because somebody said something to me, but because I'm a self-aware person, right? So like I listen to the show after you do the show, and I always take in things. So let me say this. Y'all that watch this show know that I speak a lot of times colloquially, right? Like I'm making jokes, I'm being entertaining, yada, yada, yada. But we having a real conversation that has purpose and all that shit, right? But I want to make sure that no one misconstrued where I was coming from, my point of view about the conflict. And I think I said this several times during the show, but I want to reiterate it here. That conflict that's happening has been going on for hundreds of years. And it is meaningful and it is real to the people in that conflict.
100%.
And me speaking about it from a perspective that may be different than what the national media is talking about it from is in no way, shape, or form trying to make light or trying to choose a side. So let me be very clear here. This is me speaking for myself. The way Hamas attacked Israel is cowardly. It's wrong. It was done in a very flippant, careless, reckless way. Period. I don't condone that shit. And me explaining, or at least trying to give voice to why they felt the need to lash out that way, is just that. Me stating some facts about being in an open air prison, being oppressed, feeling like you not feeling, but the reality is living in a place where you don't have freedom of movement and how that can be hard. Like, let's just leave it at that. I don't think I need to explain that, but I'm giving voice to what was taking place, not choosing the sides, just a fact. And on the other hand of that, Israel protecting their territory, however you want to call it, I've got no problem with that. But they doing the same shit that Hamas did to them. They indiscriminately blowing up shit. They're killing civilians. They wrecking infrastructure. It's not just military versus military, and you're hitting hard targets. They're both killing civilians on each side of the conflict. So I'm going to say this, and we're going to keep on with the show. My opinion last week, my voice last week was not about right or wrong. It was not about choosing a side. It was giving voice. And a lot of times, I take the opposite position where what the mainstream is talking about is not how I look at things. And as somebody who spent almost 3 years in Afghanistan on 2 different occasions, and I've seen war firsthand, I've experienced it firsthand. I've had a part in it firsthand. I don't take those things lightly. I understand, I empathize, I know exactly what both of those people are going through and the losses that they're feeling on each side of that conflict. So I'm going to just say that. Once again, not because Gabe said something to me. He didn't know I wasn't going to say it, word up. Not because somebody DM'd me or nothing like that, but I'm a self-aware person. And listening back to the show, which I do every single week, I do realize that what I was saying or how I was speaking about it could have been taken in a way I didn't mean to give it. So I wanted to be clear of myself and say it here today. Not choosing a side, speaking of fact, loss of life over some dirt. And I recognize that it's deep for them, but I said dirt for a reason. It's still meaningless to me. Like, we don't have to die over dirt. There's a way that you can peacefully resolve this. But I recognize that what they're going through is meaningful and impactful to them, and it's sad on both sides. And I'm going to leave it like that.
It is, and the thing is too with that, Black, and you know, we could all appreciate you wanting to put that out there. You know, when I listen to that back, you know, I want y'all to know that Black's definitely, you know, listening to that with a very, you know, a sensitive ear, you know, and you got to commend that, because when I listen to that back, you know, first of all, I love the way we discuss things, because we never really harpoon one side too much. There's always a balance in the conversation, even if we both kind of think the same way about it. There's still a balance to it. And the way we were doing that last week, I think we were being sympathetic and empathetic at the same time, and being sensitive. It's not like, you know, we were being crazy out here. So I appreciate you saying that, Black. I did not know he was going to say that, but I do appreciate that. But I do think that we handled ourselves in a very professional manner last week. So salute to us for that too.
And everybody in the comments that's saying something to me right now, I see y'all, Shy, Rock, Big Face, cuz all y'all, I appreciate the words. I just wanted to get it off my chest, and like at the same time, you know, it's anybody who does it, especially like the Rec Boys, y'all know what this looks like, sitting in front of the camera and trying to have an impactful, meaningful conversation. But at the same time, you want to be interesting too, right? And you want to be true to and authentic to who you are. And I'm that. I'm super real and transparent with how I feel about things. But I don't want to ever speak from a place of ignorance or to seem like I'm being flippant or non-empathetic with what's going on. And that's somebody who's seen war and understands the conflict as much as an outsider can understand the conflict. Hope y'all recognize that my view is from that prism, and it's not meant to be disrespectful at all.
Thank you for that, brother. We all appreciate you. But I gotta say, bro, you should see the way Jada looking at you right now, bro.
I know, man.
She looking at you, man.
She's giving auntie, right?
You know, so for y'all that can't see this, shout out to y'all on all streaming platforms. You already know. He's got his background is that her album? I mean, her book cover.
Nah, that's another. I can't put it up here because we get a content strike. But that's a magazine cover.
Oh, okay, the magazine cover.
So y'all hip, y'all know where that's coming from. That's a magazine cover this week.
Yeah,
I can't show the name though because we get in trouble.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. It's great. She's definitely peering over your shoulders. What an interesting situation, right? I don't know if you saw on Facebook, but my boy, shout out Big Veg, man. Big Veg. He lost his ish because he was so upset that he feels like he was duped. He feels like this is just a common ploy to just sell something, and he feels taken advantage of.
Huh?
He's
right. Where the lie at?
Where the lie at? Yo, what's wrong with the? Oh, come on, man. Angie brought up a great point earlier today. She said, yo, it's her show ain't doing ish. Her show is dead in the water. Ain't nobody watching it, nobody talking about it. So this is, you know, just another way to get it up, you know.
I mean, she's selling a book. She in a book press tour. This is common.
Yeah, no, but she, like, you know what it is? It's because the claims are just like outlandish.
But she's selling a book. Hold up,
but it's stupid.
Bro. She even did Fat Joe's little Instagram show. Like she's selling a book. She's going around. She has to give quotables and headlines to make you buy this shit. It's just business. It's just business. Yeah, she's saying dumb shit. We can talk about it. She's saying all kind of shit. Pac wanted to marry her. You know what I mean? She's so crack. She was the biggest hustler in fucking East LA. I don't fucking know.
Will shouldn't even be calling her wife, his wife. Like, I don't know why he calling me his wife.
He need to keep her name out his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, just all kind of ridiculous shit. So, I mean, we can talk about it, but like, everything needs to be framed with, she's selling a book. And go look at Will Smith's reactions to all these things. It's like him on a boat with it. Talking about my phone notifications is off. He said that. You saw the post? He was on a boat hanging out, and his phone was like going off chirping. He was getting texts and DMs and all that, and he was ignoring all that shit. Talking about I'm living my best life. I could care less what's going on the internet.
Oh no, Will said this.
That's what Will said.
Oh boy,
sound like a message to me. Like, miss me with all that. I know what she's doing. She's selling a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Rock said, it's all Will's fault. Like, it's such a weird situation. Like, what is that? Like, what's the real truth? do y'all like? Because at the end of the day, right? Like if Angie tells me in 2016, yo, I ain't your girl no more, but for the sake of public, opinion, we're gonna just stay together in a public eye. But we ain't together no more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do, sir.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I want.
And I'll make
whoever I want.
Yeah, and whoever I want. And if somebody find out, it's gonna have to be whatever. But you're still gonna say that you're my husband, though. What?
She said that she was shocked by him calling her wife. So maybe she didn't expect that. Maybe it's just Will being a cuck. Can I not say that? It's the internet. Can I not say that? I'm sorry.
You're gonna get canceled. I know Will Smith.
I'm gonna do better. She said she was surprised that she was called wifey. Doesn't that mean she had no expectations of being called a wife? Don't that make Will a cuck? Am I missing it?
No, well, if you put it like that, no. But what Rock has to say is Will came out first with the book and said he was smashing, so it's his fault.
Right, but here's what he didn't say. He didn't say what's the supermodel's name? He didn't say Tyra Banks was his first true love and that they almost got married. He didn't say that, did he? Nah. He didn't say, I don't know why Jada's calling me her husband because we've been separated for 8 years. He ain't say that. He didn't say I was really in West Philadelphia for real, moving dope. He ain't say none of that. He just
you just trying to be Will Smith.
It's levels, you know what I mean?
How does he find himself in this mess, man? Wow. And then not to say the son is weird, but they had their family.
I'll be right back, gang. Hold on.
All right. They had their family desires and tendencies and all that put out for the public consumption. You know what I'm saying, with the son and. Like what's going on with this couple? This couple, I don't understand it. Will Smith is just supposed to be making some movies now. He's supposed to be leaving music alone. And every once in a while, like drops like a verse on a commercial or something, you know what I'm saying? And calling it a day. Why is this all happening? A woman scam, bro. Imagine you getting hurt, you not trying to get back at you. I know it's just weird. Facebook not allowing me to interact. Really? I don't know what that is. There's something weird going on with the internet today. There is, because a lot of the tools that I usually have access to, I do not have access to today. Shout out to the Rec Boys, man. I think I saw Shy was in here. What's up, Shy? I saw and then I saw a Facebook user, and I'm not sure who that was. It might have been Big Face. Shout out. It might have been Chris Rodriguez. Shout out to Mr. Catchwreck himself in the building. But yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith, man. You gonna read the book? Y'all gonna read the book? I'm probably gonna try to get the bootleg internet copy of the best parts of the articles. I'm probably gonna do that. You gonna get the book? You getting the book? Is she on that type of press run? She gonna make King Blackout go get the book?
I'm gonna keep it a bean, gang.
You pre-ordered the book?
Bootleg copy like 2 weeks ago. I'm already on it.
Send that over, man. Send that over.
Yeah, bro. $15.99.
Everything money with you.
Everything costs money, bro. You want me to have the show looking right? It costs money. I need the bag, kid. Like, I'm charging everybody else $25.
Oh, so I'm getting the hookup.
40% off, nigga. 15.
This would be 5-finger discount. Listen. How is Rock's Kitchen in the comments? Because Rock's Kitchen is the man. You don't know Rock? Better slow down. Better ask somebody. But chill out there on YouTube. I like people being on YouTube watching. I want to migrate everybody to YouTube. Let me ask you, Rock.
Go ahead.
Rock, you specifically. If the show was only airing on YouTube and you got notified on Facebook about it, would you watch it on YouTube? Would that matter to you? I know, Vlad. I would love to migrate this over to YouTube only. I think I'm almost there, Black. I think next season.
Why only?
I think we only gonna do YouTube next year. YouTube,
I'm a,
Twitch, X.
You might as well
Patreon.
on True Social then. I'm gonna be on True Social, yo.
Facebook getting whacked to me, man. Facebook getting whacked to me. How many others in Facebook not able to comment? Well, I'll tell you this, Angie. There's been at least 17 other people that said hello in the comments. Yo, what's your final thoughts on Jada Pinkett Smith, man? What's your final thoughts on that topic?
I guess the final part for me is the part where she told that lady that the funny thing is that after all this shit, her and Will got back together and trying to work it out now. He's stupid.
Yeah, leave that alone.
Yeah, I don't even know. Bro, he's stupid. What she do to him? It's that Scientology shit.
Yeah.
Got them fucked up. Because it don't make no sense for somebody to put you through. We watching a whole man have domestic violence done to him in public of the mental persuasion. She emotionally beating this man ass in public every year. It's not healthy.
It's weird out here. I like Will Smith.
I do too. I just don't understand, like, you know, how the nigga that was shooting zombies in I Am Legend is letting his wife do him dirty like this repeatedly all the time. Like, it's not okay, bro. And niggas saying like he got the book too. It's different. Like I said, he ain't say him and Tyra Banks had a baby and she got an abortion and nothing salacious like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just nonsense. Pac had alopecia. He really wanted to wife me. He proposed while he was in Rikers. Like, that's my first love. But not really. I'm just saying, and y'all inferring that, but I didn't really say it though. What the fuck is you talking about, Jada? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
You think what Rock is saying is valid, where it's cheaper to keep her for him? That's why it lasts so long?
Nah, bro, because they kids grown. Like, if they kids was little, I would get it. They kids grown, right?
Mm-hmm. But she's still gonna get a chunk though, bro. He's worth what, 350? I
don't think it mattered though. Like, we had this talk a little bit before about like once you hit a certain number, and I'm not saying money don't matter. Once you get a certain amount of money though, it stops mattering. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Bill and them niggas, that the multi-billionaires who get divorced and just be like, whatever, here's 10 billion. Look at the Waltons. Like, like all of them is like the top 20 list. The kids, the wife, the ex, all that shit. Because like it's dumb money. It don't even matter. So like if he got 300 M's and she get 100, do it even matter? Because he'll drop 3 more movies and be right back up. Like, it don't. What I'm saying is the money, the numbers are that large, it don't matter. It doesn't matter, bro. And I don't think she'll get 100 M's because of how they entered the game.
There's no prenup, bro. There's no way this gangster signed a prenup. There's no way.
What I'm saying is that when they first came in, I feel like at the time, you gotta remember, like, Will was doing his rapping thing, had a few songs in the charts, but like the Fresh Prince really made him mainstream. Like, he was cool, but he really got popping there. But she was already getting active. She was already active doing shit. So I feel like when they came in, it was probably pretty close to each other. And ain't no telling what that agreement looks like. You feel me? Like, on paper. Ain't no telling. She might have protected herself. Like, I ain't giving you nothing. Because he wasn't up yet until Independence Day. That's what I'm saying.
What up, Monster? What happened with Rock saying too here? You think she did enough damage to his image that she can affect his acting money?
Nah, because
not long term, right?
Because not even a little bit. Because what she's saying don't make him look bad. If she said he used to beat me every night, that's different. What he's saying is basically the opposite. Like, I treated him like shit, and he's still around. Right. So like, that just make him look good.
Right. Shout out to Will Smith, man. He's on the top 50 list. Hey,
put it like this, bro. I Am Legend 2 was gonna come out in like a year. We already know this, right? With Michael B. Jordan. You telling me they ain't gonna make $500 million? You telling me he ain't gonna get 40 million for that picture alone? He will.
Right.
He'll get a producer credit, starring acting credit. He'll get back end points. It's Will fucking Smith. He's up.
Yo, Rock. In my opinion, Rock, I feel like everybody is over the slap already.
Because people understood it. Like, people understood it. It ain't like he just went up there and just decked the nigga. Like, people understood in context what it was. And then her talking about how Chris shot his shot back in 2016, and it was probably some underlying shit with him and Will the whole time, added the cherry on top. Like, she basically shot this nigga some bell and was like, yo, he was already not fucking with Chris because Chris tried to get with me.
Yeah.
So, like, nah, he good. Nobody care about that.
Nah, I know. What else, Shot? I know. I really don't think Will has much to do with what Jada got. Jada, like you said before, Black. It's like that Scientology shit. She on that type. That's her
Yeah.
god. That's her leader. That's her leader right there. You know what I'm saying? So I
Different
think
type of
that's yeah, man. I think so. I think so. Listen, man. We talk about a lot of like weird things and like messed up things and things that don't make sense. And I know a lot of times, and I'm gonna take this tack because I know you would like to take this tack, so I'll take the tack. I know a lot of times, people just do things for posturing and positioning and to make sure they're viewed a certain way. So when you hear things about like a millionaire doing something nice for just a random person, it's like a cool feel-good story, but then you look at it and you're like, but why are you doing that? You just want to get your name out there some more, right? So Tyler Perry is in the news right now for helping out lady in South Carolina who was being pressured big time by different corporations to sell her property because they wanted to build, just like any old story. This lady has fought like hell. She's 93 years old. And apparently Tyler Perry got a hold of the story and has like put his foot in it. And it's just like, I'm going to help this whole situation out, and he's fighting for her. He's putting money behind her and the whole nine. And it's becoming a big deal. I'm sure it's crossed your desk at one point or another. What did you think about that when you saw it?
If y'all don't see how this is the most cow telling, make me look good, bunch of BS. Let me explain something, y'all. First of all, I'm gonna speak real frank because that's how we talk in this show. And if y'all get offended this episode, I don't give a fuck. Look, bro, she 93, my nigga. Like she about to be out of here. You want to help somebody, Tyler? Help somebody who's 23 with a baby and a new wife, and they trying to get their foot in somewhere. Let's just be frank about it. Second, they didn't do eminent domain in her house. What's happening is they keep offering her ridiculous amounts of money, and she's saying no. Guess what else she could do? Take the fucking money and give it to her kids and her grandkids and her great grandkids, because the company wants the land so bad they offering her big bags. By the way, did I mention she's 93? Oh my God, somebody wants to pay above market value for my property. Tyler Perry, help me. Fuck is that? Either sell it or don't sell it, but I don't want to see the article. This is bullshit.
Right.
I already told you my feelings about Tyler Perry. I know that people like him, but I'm gonna keep it a bean. I've always seen through the bullshit. I've always seen him prospering off of Christianity. I'm not saying you can't make money and be a Christian. I'm saying like the way he did it, I've never been for that. And there's something in the Bible about living above your means and living a certain kind of way. And if your intent, which is what it used to say, was to spread the gospel through non-traditional means, I'm all for that. So why you got a 25-bedroom mansion, 2 of them? Why do you live in excess wealth? Why are you not giving that back to the churches and to the community? Why are you living like a king if your entire goal is to spread the word? There's a reason why preachers and men of the cloth are not supposed to live that way. They don't have a job, and then tithes pay for them to eat and sleep and keep a roof and pay utilities so that they can be a conduit for the word. So why does Tyler Perry live so exorbitantly? Why is he worth hundreds of M's?
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that dude. I never have. So you're not doing nothing altruistic by helping a 93-year-old woman turn down the bag. What are you doing?
So, I mean, so there's in your view, there's no good in what he's doing. Even the fight of small blue collar versus the big corporation and just saying no to them once and for all.
But she don't need help to say no. Ma'am, will you sell the property? No.
Okay,
we'll keep asking and raising the offer. I'll keep not selling.
Right.
Got it. It's not eminent domain. They're not taking her house. They can't force her off the land.
That's the part.
Correct.
That's why I led with how I led with it. Right.
If they were taking the land, if the government was helping her do and take her property, help her. Got it.
Right.
That's not what's happening. They're saying you want $1 million? She's like, no.
Right. I just want my house, boy.
That's what she said. You'll be dead in 6 months, and they're gonna take it any fucking way. Like you see, like Gabe, hold up. See, when you be honest about shit, you come off wrong. Tell me what makes the most sense. You live in this stupid ass house for another year, and then you die, and they take it. Or you sell it for $1 million and give it to the next 3 generations.
Right.
What makes the most sense?
Right. Choice B.
You goofy.
Right.
Goofy.
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 How are you?
You out? You 93? You out of here? Goofy.
Listen, you know, you said something that just sparked the thought, and I always think of this too. And I'm going to say this again, and maybe somebody really smart and influential will hear me and be able to spread this out. And then I'll probably get killed because it's not the greatest financial decision for everybody. But listen, man, there's a lot of money in sports, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of money in sports. There's a lot of money in entertainment. And I just think that there is a certain threshold, as you alluded to earlier, that once you reach that threshold, having more doesn't really matter. And losing a little bit, you don't really feel that. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably going to get ran back on the interest in the next 6 months anyway in the other bank. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would propose instituting that threshold, figuring out what that threshold really is. And then the surplus that's made from all of this entertainment and sports goes back into the communities and schools and the roads. And
can't do that.
You know
why that doesn't work, right?
Why?
Because people have said this. People will lose their motivation
to get
innovate.
more.
No, to innovate and to produce for society. It would stop the wheels from turning. If I reach a ceiling, right? What's the impetus for me to keep my business running? Why not just close it down? I can't make more than $50 million as an example. So I'm Jeff Bezos. I might as well just shut down Amazon because every penny I make from here on out is going to everybody else but me. So why am I doing this?
You get to keep your threshold. It's not that you're ever going to get under that.
Right, but the point being
only
is that
the surplus.
Right, but if you can't make it, no. Here's a clear point. If if it's 50 million, Jeff Bezos is worth 200 billion.
Right.
It's an unfathomable amount of money. So if he was forced to now give it all away, because he has to until he gets to 51 billion, why would he keep working? What's the impetus to keep running Amazon? Because he doesn't benefit anymore. He can't. You just said it. He can't benefit more.
It's not that he can't benefit more. It's that he would work to maintain it.
But
at that point,
he doesn't. You're missing the point, though, bro. He doesn't need to. Like, okay, I make all this money, right? And I got 12 houses. I got mad cars. I mad everything on the island. All this other dumb fuck shit. Got it. Bet. I got all the stock in the world, right? I'm gonna shut down Amazon. I got $50 million. What else do I actually need to do in my life? Like, what else do I need money for? If I own 50 homes and 3,000 cars, I just buy shit, right? Once I hit the threshold, I buy shit, make more, get to a level, have more shit than I could ever have, right? I'd probably buy 50 homes so that me and you couldn't afford a home. Think about it like this. I'd buy all the houses in fucking Newburgh. Nobody now can buy a house, right? I'll shut down Amazon, and then I'll sell my house over market to everybody who needs a home. So instead of them being $300,000 homes, they now cost $3 million, and I'd still make more money. But I'm not gonna run Amazon because that's hard and a lot of work. Why do that?
Yeah, there's got to be a better way than what we got going on. You know, maybe
it's not give money out. That ain't the answer, bro.
No, not give money out, but like the machine that's built and going can support more. We just don't allow it to. We just allow the top 1% to live that way.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I hear you. I don't disagree. But I've always look, if people are all held to the same standard, then I don't even think you need to do something drastic like put a wealth cap, because we've talked about that before. It'll never happen because the rich people run the world. They will never put a wealth cap on themselves. Not gonna happen. So here's what I'm gonna say. Rich people don't pay taxes. Think about how absurd that is. So I'm in a tax bracket, right, where I get taxed at 36%. Right? And then when I hit another dollar amount, I get taxed at 39%, everything after that. Right? I'm not a millionaire. I don't make $1 million a year. So I'm not a millionaire. Donald Trump, you know how much he paid in taxes last year? And it's not a Trump attack. I'm using him because his tax returns are now public knowledge, and it just came out a couple of months ago. How much money did Donald Trump pay in taxes, Gabe, last year?
No, probably like $600.
Zero.
You know what I'm saying?
He actually got money back from the government because his multi-million-dollar properties lost money, which is why they're taking him to court for fraud now. Right. That's why he's in court. Right. This is tax fraud. Right. He's running for president, by the way. Did you know that? Cool.
Wait, hold on. Let me just address Rock real quick. Rock, that's not exactly what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying you can only make a certain amount of money and you gotta give the rest away. What I would propose is a system whereby once you reach a certain plateau of wealth and surplus in your own shit, right? Your own situation, whatever that number is that we come up with, maybe it's $100 billion, right? Whatever that number is, what I'm proposing is that the surplus over that would go into back into like the communities and the school and the roads, and, you know, like to help keep the earth being the earth, right? And not just cannibalizing it all the time. Maybe they put funds into, you know, the atmosphere and space stations and shit like that.
I don't disagree with your point, Gabe, but this is the point I was getting to. The way you're talking about doing it is a tax on being successful. That's not fair. Like just saying, putting this arbitrary number at whatever, it doesn't matter how high you make the bar, $1 billion, you can't have more than that's all you need. That's not fair. That's not equitable. That's penalizing people for being successful. That's not what you should do, nor would I ask them to do that. An equitable way of getting that money back into where it needs to be is making rich people pay taxes. Think about it like this. If Donald Trump, let me not use him, if Jeff Bezos, who was worth $300 billion, literally just paid his taxes last year instead of getting money from the government, bailouts from the government, if he just paid his taxes, right, his 39%, you know how much money in taxes that would have been raised just on his assets alone? Hold up. How much money would have been raised just on his asset for taxes if he just paid taxes like everybody else?
Right.
How much?
It would fix a lot. It would fix a lot. Whatever that
It'd
number
be like
is.
$350 million a year. Just in him paying what everybody else has to pay.
Right.
So what you're talking about, the schools, the infrastructure, the programs could be funded if we tax the 1%. The reality is that they don't pay taxes because they hide their money within companies. None of them have any real wealth. All their companies make money, and you don't tax companies like that. There's all kinds of loopholes and shell games. My company is really based out of Rhode Island, and we don't pay company tax here, even though I'm doing business in Atlanta. If they stop the fucking loopholes, close those windows, my company's headquartered in fucking Turks and Caicos, where all my locations are in Atlanta. Right. That's what they're doing. So if you just pay taxes, that shortfall will be filled.
Well, there you go. Then that's
unfair.
That's a great answer and solution to what my proposal. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, you know, to cap it at like, okay, now all these athletes, you know what I mean? Now they're going to be paying out because they're making, you know, 25 a year. It's not like, I'm not saying that low. I'm literally talking about people who achieve that level of it don't matter anymore, and that's a pretty high level up there, you know. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, the rich of the rich having to give into the rest of us, right, to make it all work and make it so like the blue collar person isn't struggling so much to do like the simple shit, you know. So I know that will never happen. Rocky, you've been such a beacon of light tonight. I really do appreciate your engagement today. I really do. But yeah, man.
I think it can happen, maybe in a different way, and it might take longer than either me and you have. But like you look at like Bill and Melinda Gates, right, who have this pledge to give away 95% of their wealth before they die. Right? That's their pledge. They give away $1 billion a year. Right? It's pretty sick. But the reality is it doesn't even matter to them. They have more money than God. And they don't feel it, and their money makes money. Like just being rich means you stay rich forever because the fucking interest is absurd, right? I think that's a different way of looking at things. If you have that kind of gumption about you, the problem of giving away wealth, it's complicated. Like it's illegal to just give away $100 million to somebody. Without paying estate tax. It's illegal. Can't do it, right? You also, if Bezos tried to dissolve Amazon, he legally couldn't do it. Did you know that? Like the government would stop him from being able to liquidate Amazon, even if he controlled all the shares. Too big, too important to the economy. Can't fucking do it. Imagine being in a position where no matter what you do for the rest of your life, you can't help but stay rich. That's Jeff Bezos. If he wanted to tank it all, blow it all, do crack cocaine, and be a fiend.
Right.
He would still be rich forever because he couldn't give away his money legally. They won't let him. He has to be rich. Like, I'm sorry, bro. It's just like, I just want the rich people to pay taxes. I just want you to pay what we pay in a proportionate rate. The fact that I pay 2/5 of my salary for roads and shit like that, and Donald Trump got a jet and a private residence and all this kind of shit and gets rebates from the government makes me sick to my stomach.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I don't see how the rest of the world don't feel the same way I do, and we try to affect change. We worried about walls going up around the borders. We worry about the most dumbest shit, right? Red and blue and politics. Like, why are you not mad that you work your entire life and you get to experience a 0.0001% of the life that the upper crust gets to experience, while you break your back every single day in existence, so you don't get to actually live? You're just alive. Why does that not compel people to affect change?
Don't know. We're not compassionate. And this is how cats from Congress get rich, through lobbyists. They make $60K but got houses all over the U.S. How, Sway? It's true. It's true. I mean, without consumers, how would any of the rich be rich? That's interesting. Because I feel like the richest of the rich don't even deal with the consumer. They're dealing, when they make their deal, they're not dealing with anybody that's hand to hand.
If you look at consumers like the little man, that's one thing. But every person on the planet, by definition, is a consumer. Yeah. We're not a self-reliant amoeba that can just live in the ether and suck nutrients from the air and spit it back out.
Right.
Until we die. We have to consume something.
Right. Great points, gentlemen. I love it. In the comments, man, let us know you're in here, man. Give us let me see the 100 emoji. Just because we be keeping it 100 in here, man. We be really chatting. We be really talking about stuff.
We need a bean emoji, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Keep it a bean, dog. We need that.
Facts.
Keep it a bean.
A bean emoji. Thank you very much. Yo, shout out to having 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, though. I like looking at that and seeing that there. That makes me happy. What else I got on my list? So, yo, could you imagine? We're talking about all this money and stuff. Could you imagine winning that 1.7 billion, bro, out in Cali, cousin? What the, bro? Okay, just take out the one. Take out the one. You could have the one. You got 800 million to the face, bro.
Huh?
What you doing, cousin? What you do? What's the first? Can you really tell me what's the first 2 things you about to do right here?
First,
for real.
The very the money hits my account. What's the first thing I'm doing?
The money, you have a suitcase and you got a fucking card in your hand.
Okay. No kizzy. I'm gonna go buy my job.
You go buy your job.
I'm gonna purchase my job. No, dead ass. No, I'm dead ass. I'm going there. I'm saying, yeah, here's 50 million. Deuces. I'm buying the place.
Is that and would they happily take that? Are you overbuying it? Are you overpaying?
No, they'll take it. No, they got more than that. They worth more than that. But we talking colloquially, right? We're talking off the cuff. What would I want to do with a bunch of money, basically, right?
You would buy your job.
I want to buy my company and utilize it in a way that I know it can be utilized for the betterment of the people that we serve. I'll leave it like that without getting into specifics. But it's where I work at and who I work with. It's meaningful work, and I would turn that up to 10 because that's meaningful to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I dump resources into it, and it can do good for this entire area. That's the first thing. Number two, as soon as I get the deed for the business, I'm probably this is gonna sound nasty as hell. I'm sorry, y'all.
You got 800 billion.
You're right.
800 million.
Yeah, I'm about to book the craziest vacation. Listen, the crib is gonna be there. The rent's paid, all that shit. Listen, whatever.
Right.
I'm going somewhere different where the water is purple or something. Just some shit I never thought in my life I'd get to see. That's the second thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
The third thing I'm doing to come back is, of course, I'm just gonna build my own property. And dump extra money into them, have a whole estate like Tyler Perry do, big compound. And while that's being built, we'll buy 20 cars and mad jewelry like a nigga.
I like
somewhere in the top 10, a couple friends gonna get some phone calls, and we gonna just bless them. Here's 100,000 for you. Here's 100,000 for you. This is, it's just There's probably like 10, 15 million for my mama, but in a trust where she can't spend it all because she died with bread. You gotta
I gotta do that
lawyer.
for my mom too.
look, run them transactions by the lawyer. Let him approve that shit. Then they'll give you the little book and you can make the yada yada yada. But like the blessings gonna flow, bro. Like once my family's straight, the blessings gonna flow. I'm gonna bless those around me. That's me. But first, I'm gonna buy my job because I'm that kind of person. Second, I'm going to a place where the world is purple. And what I mean by that is it's like I'm gonna go experience something that I never thought I could experience in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Because that's me. Like all you got when you die is experiences. You don't got the money, you don't got the time, nothing. I'm gonna go do something so out of the way. It's like this is awesome. I'm gonna come home, get my crib straight, we'll buy 20 cars and 20 chains, right? I'm gonna bless my family, my friends. I'm gonna hold my mama down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna invest my bread and I'm gonna take parts of that and just go do the things I do right now. Not to get sidetracked because I want you to answer because you asked the question, but you brought up a topic about Tyler Perry doing things altruistically, and what I think the feeling was behind that. Yeah, and I'm gonna say this not to toot my own horn because I'm not trying to. Yeah. There is this. Speaking about that, there was this article I was reading this weekend about something called the $1,000 Breakfast Club. Have you heard of that? No. It started during the pandemic. It was a Facebook group of people who all went to breakfast together, all strangers. They got together in a Facebook group. And the idea is that they each go to a breakfast together, a different IHOP, it's IHOP specifically, and they each bring $100 tip. Okay. And however many of them show up, they give that entire tip to the waitress. So when they go into the restaurant, they ask the manager, hey, I know it's 20 of us, but don't split up the tables. Like we only want one waitress. Right. Because, you know, the money goes further if you give it to one person. So they don't want to split the table up. So you get one waitress and that person serves. And no matter how the service is, they take the pot. Every person brings $100 bill and they stick it on the table and give it to the girl. And then they shake her hand and they take photos and it's all this good fun stuff. They do an article in the paper. And I thought about this and I said, you know what? That's super corny. Like I get it, but imagine the person, how you might feel, right? Like being in the spotlight. You think that I'm so down bad that you got to come over here and give me bread. And hear my point of view, depending on the person. Okay. Two, you not put me on blast where you got cameras and all kind of they telling the news that you coming because this is what was happening. They were telling people, reporters, news, all that. They pop out, hey, we just gave her $1,200. Right. And they doing a story on you. That shit is super cringy and weird. Yeah. Here's something I do right now. Swear to God, and Cass will tell you, every time I travel, and I travel a lot, I tip $100 at every restaurant I go to. Like for dinner. I don't mean like breakfast and shit like that. I mean for dinner. Tip $100. No matter what. I ain't never called a camera crew. I ain't never posted my Facebook. Hold up. You know what I mean? I ain't never been in somebody's DMs. I ain't never talked about it. I don't never share it. You ain't never knew that. I do that because I feel like you could be a blessing to others and just do that off the kindness of your heart, off the strength of the muscle. Right? Doing some shit for the sake of having some feedback to me is weird. Oh, yeah. Weird flex. Yeah. And as the person receiving that, if I'm in need, I'm gonna accept it, right? But I'd also feel kind of weird that you putting me in a situation like this, especially as a name of pride. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you? You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you want to do good at the kindness of your heart, do good. Exactly. I'm a proponent of that, and it's a lot of people who do good without having to broadcast it in that way.
Yeah, man. I want to say you are listening to this quite possibly on the Village, a global network, and brought to you by Wapter Music, Culture Shock Radio, Tattoo Shop Radio, For Sale Radio out there in Mexico, man. All powered by Zeno.fm, Village Global Network. And also, you know, DJ Poppy Blaze, Blaze 'em Up Radio be playing this too. We in like 190 countries total, bro. I don't know if you know. It's 173 with the Village Global Network, something that's been dope. But then Poppy Blaze with his 190, bro.
You out here getting that number wrong, bro. It's 191. What did I tell you last week? We also in Antarctica. That one time I went, I played it. We in Antarctica, bro. We outside.
We all the way outside. All the way outside. Listen, biggest thing for me with any type of big money I get, I have to very carefully. It would have to be done very carefully, very subtly. You know what I mean? Because I ain't trying to harm my folks. They old now. But man, I would have to just make that right. like everything would just be paid in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Like I would just want to see the look of relief, like that financial burden just gone from their minds. You know what I mean? That's the thing that would be beautiful to me. Anything beyond that is going to be gravy for me. But yeah, much like you, we will be swimming in some like crystal lime waters that has like some special mineral in it when you get out.
All that shit.
Yeah, like yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got like you don't got not a mark on you when you get out because it done ate everything off you. Yo, yeah, I'm doing that, bro. Sitting in some rock bath thing in the sun. Yeah, something crazy like that with like steam coming off the earth, like a natural, something like that.
What's crazy, bro, is that even after all that shit that we talking about, like building a house and holding your folks and your family down and your loved ones and shooting some bill to some friends and investing in some shit and doing some other big shit, we probably gonna have we still gonna have mad M's left. And like really, bro, like I've told this story, right? Like when I was a kid, I used to do shop with a cop when I was in foster care. And that was my Christmas. Like, and as a young kid in foster care, wasn't nobody buying me no presents. And the police would come every single year, pick up a group of us from foster care, from different homes, and take us out shopping. Like that was my Christmas. And I always respected and appreciated that, especially when I realized that it wasn't money that they were given to shop with us. It was their own money that they were taking and doing this at the kindness of their hearts for people who didn't have what they have. And look, even today, right? A cop is making 70, 80 grand, like a seasoned cop. Yeah, like that sounds good, and it is good, but that's not like money where I can just go out and just ball. It ain't that kind of money.
Oh yeah.
So to know they hold out like this little nigga, I don't even know. I'm buying them lunch and I'm spending $200 on Christmas tours and shit like that. What a blessing, right? So I've always been like that because I come from that, and I was a beneficiary of somebody's kindness, which is why I'm wired that way to try to give. So like I was that dude. I am that dude who goes to fucking ShopRite the day before Thanksgiving, and I just walk through the aisles and be like, "Yep, I see it." Right? I see somebody with 5 fucking kids, and they literally counting out pennies in a sock to buy a turkey. I'm that guy, and I wait for it. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I just go through like, yo, just let it walk. And she'd be like, I'm thinking, nope, just go. You good? Enjoy yourself. Happy Thanksgiving. Like, I've always been that way because there's a way to be a blessing to other people. My only problem was ever making them feel weird. Some people won't bother them, but I've also been like, I didn't have to take photos with the cop who was doing that. And like, it wasn't a big deal. And I wasn't walking to Kmart and they was like, oh, how do you feel? Are you excited? It wasn't like that. It was super low key. He wasn't in this fucking uniform. We was just chatting and talking about life, what I wanted to be when I grew up. And he was just blessing me. And like, that made me feel better than somebody putting my misfortune in front of the cameras. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's how I take it. That's how I meant it, y'all. Right. So like, you can just do good for other people because that's how you are. You can be built that way.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna read some of these comments. Shout out to Senior G out here in these comments. I see you. My idea about the cap and all that. Does it make more sense to apply that logic to the lotteries? So all that money, like you cap it at 50 mil.
The lottery is capped though.
It's not though. It was $1.77 billion for one person, bro. Why wasn't it capped at 500 million and the rest of that money goes back into the country?
So here's the reason why. First of all, the lottery is already taxed at the highest rate possible, 40%. So no matter what it is, you lose 40% off top, no matter what the total is. So let's say you got 850 million. Boom. Then there's a further breakdown. So that 800 million that you got to decide how you're going to get it. You're going to take a lump sum or you're going to get paid out over your lifetime, right? If you take a lump sum, you lose an additional 40 fucking percent. Right? So you get taxed at the big number. Then you got 800 million left. Now you get taxed at the lump sum number again for taking the payout, right? So now instead of 800 million, you got 500 million. So like 1.7 billion ain't happened too many times, but you already lost $1 billion, 1.1 billion off rip just to the state, you know what I mean? And the federal government. It's already gone.
Cool. Bet. So if I'm telling you a lottery shouldn't net anybody more than $50 million, then that means you just got to cap it at like 100 million. And then,
But then
all
what do
the
you
dollars.
do if everybody paying, bro? That's the impetus of you putting money in, right? If the money gets capped at 100 million and no one's won it, I'm not gonna keep putting bread in knowing
That's
that
bullshit.
it's going where.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
So?
Yeah, bro. Because why wouldn't you just put in another dollar to win 100 million? It don't make sense. So because you put $10 in yesterday to win 100 million, you're not going to do it today to try to win 100 million. It don't make sense.
If the money, here's
you're going to do it more because it's 101 million now.
No. Psychological. You're talking like somebody that's logical and you're using hindsight. Psychologically, hold up. No, real talk though. Psychologically, you're talking about a gambler, right? So if I'm putting money in and I'm watching that number tick to 100 million and no one's won, what's to stop the government from taking $50 billion before somebody actually wins the 100 million? Because in my mind, I can't see where the money's going. So where is it actually going? Hold up. What I'm saying is that you can just that number rising lets me know, oh yeah, somebody didn't actually win. I know they didn't win because the number keeps getting bigger because we keep buying tickets. So if there's an artificial cap, and at a certain point the money stops going up, but tickets keep being sold, I now don't trust the lottery. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's no identifier for me to look at the number and say, oh, I see where our money is going. Meaning that literally they can keep saying no one's won yet, keep giving me your money for 50 years.
So how about this? How about when you cap it, you stop selling tickets and everybody's tickets are valid from the last draw until somebody gets it.
Fine. That means what? Once a month they have to pull the number and give it to somebody, cash out, and then do it all over again.
Yeah.
So after $100 million, somebody has to win on the last day. The day it hits 100 million, somebody has to win. So they just keep drawing and keep drawing and keep drawing. That's not how a free market works. I don't disagree with you. I get it if you're being.
I think that's a dope way to do it.
Sure, but the lottery is not about being altruistic. It's about making money for the states and the government.
No, I know, but I just feel like it's not though. Maybe that's the problem, bro. Maybe that's the problem is that there is no transparency with where that 40% is going and what it's paying
actually
for.
There is. It's in your state bylaws. They tell you exactly what the money's for. New York State's lottery is used for transportation, right? The Port Authority and school programs. And it's actually listed out because they have to. Yeah. And then a part of that is actually given to local city governments for things like road repairs and things like that and municipalities. They tell you exactly where the money's going. The problem is that math don't never math. So if they made $50 million, you only see like $5 million in the line item, and then they tell you the rest is discretionary. Right. So here's what happens. It's discretionary because they say we put money to the side for natural disasters. So you ever heard of like the president saying a hurricane hits, we're going to activate FEMA and release discretionary funds? Yeah. That's that money. It comes from the lottery as an example. It's one of the big proponents of it. So they can't spend it all because they use it as a buffer. And the reality is a lot of these politicians who go down for dipping into that fund and paying vendors for non-existent work that don't happen. Or when a disaster happens like a hurricane, somebody got hired to do cleanup and no one seems to know who the fuck was cleaning up because it was all volunteers. So who'd you pay $20 million to? Oh, yourself, you fucking criminal.
Right.
So it is actually rated out where the money's supposed to go. The problem is that we got crooks because it's too much money.
Man, listen. If y'all don't know that we having the best conversation on the internet every Tuesday at 7 p.m., y'all need to get next to me, man.
Get next to us, bro.
For real,
what are you
for
talking
real.
About? Shout out to Jada Pinkett Shakur.
Yo, yeah. So here's some trivia for y'all. We got some fun people in the chat today. Here's some trivia in Black. If you know the answer, then don't just blurt it out. And if you don't know the answer, talk it out with the people in the chat. But so y'all might have heard that Drake has recently tied the late great Michael Jackson in top 100 singles on the top Hot 100 for Billboards, right? So they both have amassed 13 hot singles over the course of their careers. Can you name the three above them?
Hold on. Are you talking about 13, the number one of albums? Not singles. Because
there were singles.
The singles number is in the 100. The albums is 13. Yeah, it is. The singles number is in the hundreds.
So So this is with Drake's latest joint that came out. So
he got two. He got two things. Are you talking about the song one, the singles? Or are you talking about the albums, the 13th number one? He made two records this week.
The 13th number 100 hits.
No, he's got 100 number one hits. He's got 13 number one albums.
So that's what we're talking about. 13 number one top 100 hits is what we're
that doesn't
talking
make sense. 13 number one albums, because he has 100 of the top 100 hits. He has 100 of those number ones.
But he tied MJ at 13, so they must mean albums.
Then that number's wrong. They must mean singles, and it's 100 million.
So
I mean, not 100 million. I'm sorry, not 100 million. It's 100 singles. 100.
How come you
pull the number for you? It's 100 singles.
Go start pulling numbers.
Yeah, I got you.
Because you're bugging right now. Just so
I'm
you know.
not.
You are. You're misremembering something, but for the sake of the conversation, I need you to remember this correctly.
Hey,
not the blackout way, the right way.
Got you. Yes. Got you. Pulling this up.
Pull it up.
Pulling it up.
Top 100 record.
Give me a sec.
Top 100 record. And that
okay, I got what you're saying. It's the 13th Hot 100 leader record of all time. Got it. Okay, go. I'm ready. I'm with you.
Somehow you threw in the word leader, and it's supposed to make everything better. What the fuck was that?
It doesn't make it better. It's because these numbers are all numbers for the sake of having numbers.
Okay, so listen. So there's a metric. There's a metric, and it's from the Billboard, and it's the Billboard Hot 100. It's been in existence for, I don't know, maybe like 40 years now, right? Something like that, right? So in this time of existence with the Billboard Hot 100, there have been artists who have obtained the number one spot multiple times. Michael Jackson did it 13 times. Drake has now done it 13 times with the single with J. Cole off his latest project. If I were to ask you, Black, do you know who the other three artists are that have more than 13 top 100 number one hits? Would you be able to name them?
I know two for sure.
What's up in the comments, though? Because if he knows two for sure, I'm pretty sure he's probably right. So
I'd have to guess at the third one, but I know two for sure, just from conversation over the years.
All right. So is one of the ones you're thinking of an all-time band?
Absolutely.
Okay.
A super obvious one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Rocky says Whitney. Let's get a couple more guesses because me and I had Angie kind of fucked up on this one. Okay, Rock. He says Beatles. We like it. We like that.
Some guesses in. I'm with it.
Yeah, I want to see.
Probably guess the third one, but I know two for sure. I'm sure of it.
It was the third one, Black. That's the one that I was like, word. It's like that.
You can piece it together though, because you got to remember what genres and what artists is really popping, because that to hit number one is a combination of stuff. It's not about the best song necessarily. It's
he's throwing out Elvis. Where's everybody else in the comments? There's like 6 or 7 of y'all. Put a guess in the comments, y'all. Who do you think has more top 100 Billboard Hot 100 singles than MJ and Drake?
Did you discuss this with Angie?
Yes.
Okay, Angie, you're not allowed to participate, dog. Y'all stop participating, dog. Y'all got the answers. You heard?
But she's trying to get the algorithm going. She's trying to get the algorithm going. She's trying to jumpstart everybody. Yo, Black. All right. So who are your two guesses? Who are your two?
I'm pretty sure that the Beatles got to be first, and they probably got
Rock got that. Yep.
Like 18 or 19 of them joints because they was ridiculous.
You want me to tell you the number? It's 20.
Bet. Mm-hmm. Number 2, I'm almost certain it's Mariah. Mm-hmm. Because that fucking Christmas song broke you're right. Put her over a tie, I believe.
Do you want to know how many that is, that number on this particular metric? Obviously,
hold on, don't tell me. Let me get it. I feel like she was tied with somebody. Maybe she got 14 or 15.
19.
She got 19. That's crazy.
She's right behind the Beatles.
That's crazy.
But bro, Who do y'all think is the third one though, in front of MJ and Drake though?
All right, I got
Y'all guess out
three
there
possibilities. Can I give my possibilities?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm thinking I could be way the fuck off. It's either like Jay-Z from Sheer Number, and I could be wrong. I'll accept that. Or it's R&B, because R&B tends to have less competition and the big hits go super big hit. So it's probably either like Beyonce or Riri, just because the type of music they make is so universal. So to me, and because I recognize like Beyonce had a ton of them, Riri also had a ton of them in a short time span. Jay-Z had it, but I don't know if he also went number one. Sometimes you're just in the rap bubble. So is it between those three? Am I close, bro?
You might be. Rock.
All
What you think for that third one? What you think for that third one, Rock? You think Black named it already? Do you think, or you think it's somebody else? I'm surprised nobody said the two boys.
Who that? What two boys? Oh, Biggie Pac?
No, Us, Chris.
See, but you said because this list is about debuting and having the number one song. I feel like they got a lot of top tens, but it's different to have the number one song. And typically it's some crossover shit. It's not like traditional like rap or just like pop crossover R&B. It's like them. I feel like women hit this list more than men.
Facts.
In that genre.
I will tell you, you did name her. Yo, Riri, bro.
It's Riri?
I'm not surprised. With 14, she's got one more than Drake and what's his face.
I'm not surprised. She got more than B? How many do B got?
Word. They stopped it right there. But I was like, when I saw Rihanna's name and not Beyonce or Chris Brown, I was like, that threw me off. You said a short amount of time. Riri worked, bro.
But it was only 10 years, which is funny to say. She ain't dropped since 2016. It was literally 10 years, bro.
Happy birthday time to Angie. She did that though.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying. Shout out to Rihanna, man. So that list goes: Beatles with 20, Mariah with 19, Rihanna with 14, just ahead of Drake and Michael freaking Jackson with 13. Ain't that some top five there? That is some top five.
That list is crazy. See, the list is what I thought it was, though. It's different. It's not like contemporary music for the most part. It's Madonna, the Supremes, Whitney, Janet, and Stevie. Like, that makes sense to me. Like,
and that's the rest of that list?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's crossovers. That's nuts.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's cool, though. Joe Hurdum, the goalpost always changes. Hold on, let me put this up. The goalpost always changes because streaming is not record sales. Imagine back in the day, people could push a button and play a song. I know. You ain't got to talk about that here. We know, Joe. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit that follow, hit that share. Let people know you up in here. We got about another 17 minutes to go. I had a couple of things on my list. Y'all make sure you check me out November 9th, man. DJ Epps. I'm like excited for this. When he jumped on my live, I had 150 people watching my live, bro. That shit was insane. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Are you pulling up the list though, bro? Because like we run out of weeks to do the list.
I know, but listen, can I just ask you this real quick? 200K or dinner with Leor Cohen?
200,000.
You would take the 200,000?
I would take the money over dinner with anybody.
Got you. You seen there was a cool little story about somebody ran up on Jay-Z and told him, yo, I love you, but I took the 500K. Right. And he recorded it.
Anything else is stupid.
And that was hilarious. That was good. Listen, so we've been working on this top 50 greatest all-time hip-hop artist list. Let me bring this up here. So last time, let me bring up the rest of my list. We had a little list going. We got to vote in and vote out some people on the list. So last week we had Too Short, and we checked them off, but we ain't say where we're gonna put them. What's your thoughts on a rapper from the West Coast that basically revolutionized the way people were talking to people on the microphone? Too Short.
What's your feelings? He more from like your era.
He really is. Too Short for me. Like I always say this, for back then, way back then in the days, you know, things were a lot more regionalized, you know, so I heard a lot of New York hip hop, a lot of Florida like stuff would come up. So I heard like the 2 Live Crews and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And it was always cool. But there were certain people that made their way to our coast even back then. And NWA was one of them. Ice-T was another one. But most certainly, Too Short was one of them. And it was raunchy. It was raw. It was pimping. It was storytelling. It was funny. It was serious. It was all those things. He definitely molded some of these West Coast people in the way that they were telling stories and what they could do with their creativity. And you could be talking about all this stuff and still do right in real life, doing your thing. You know, this is entertainment type of deal. Yep. I salute the legend that he is, Too Short. The longevity. Now, we don't recognize it because we're not in that. You know what I'm saying? Even though you say he's my genre or my age, I'm not in it like that. But I am fully aware of the fact that Too Short never stopped making music. This man has like 35 albums with some shit like that, bro.
That don't make them shits good, dog.
No, it don't make him good. But god damn, my man got something to say. He don't never shut the fuck up.
In the gym and this ain't good, nigga.
Like, listen, a legend in his own right on the West Coast. I think we would be silly. And we would have a hard battle if we had people from the West Coast representing right now talking about their legends. I think they would fight really hard for Too Short. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. We're gonna look at the numbers because you got me doing the number shit, right?
Yeah.
Let me start off by saying that Too Short first album came out, and I wasn't even in my daddy nutsacks yet. Mm-hmm. That's how long this nigga been around, getting it bumping, right? Yeah. But let's just talk straight facts. His first album didn't chart, second album didn't chart, third album didn't chart. But that's okay, because those is all independent releases. So I'm gonna let him get a pass with being independent.
What year?
Releasing them 80, 83, 85, and 86.
Wow. Okay.
So his first major release was Born to Mac on Jive, and that went gold. And then he dropped Life is Too Short, and that went platinum. Short Dogs in the House went double platinum. Shorty the Pimp went platinum. Get In Where You Fit In went platinum. Cocktails went platinum. Getting It album number 10 went platinum and debuted at number 1.
Damn.
1996. Can't Stay Away went gold. You Nasty went gold, and that was in 2000. He ain't charted since then. But that's a pretty decent run.
That's a good run.
A regional artist. Yeah. Basically went from like 88 to 2000 dropping albums, and they sold 500,000 copies plus each of them.
Yeah.
So that's big.
That's remarkable. And his influence is undeniable.
A lot of influence.
A lot of influence on that West Coast, man. A lot. People give it up to Short out there. He easily gets into my top, my tier 5 here. If we had to make the argument to put him in tier 4, I could, because he has outsold everybody in tier 5 if we put him there.
No, he has not sold Lauren. Miseducation, bro, sold a ridiculous amount of albums. You gotta remember that. Miseducation sold more than all them other niggas whole discographies.
Yeah, that's that shit.
Like,
that's that shit.
That one album outsold all them niggas on that list in tier 5.
That's crazy, right? So where would you feel comfortable putting a guy like Too Short?
Here's the thing. Short been around, and regionally he probably banged, but I'm not gonna treat that no different than I would a New York nigga like we did before, who banged super hard in New York, but not outside New York. So Short got numbers, he got sales. He's definitely influential.
Longevity of motherfuckers.
Longevity. A whole lot of people will tell you that Short was him. You know what I mean? And they got it from him. Yeah. So like on that alone, bro, I think you get in here, you sold records, you did numbers. One of the interesting things though about the difference between numbers and the era you came out in, you had to buy the music to check with somebody.
Word.
I think that singles, for me, is a good barometer of how much you broke through. Like, meaning like you can sell a million copies and be big in California, which is what Too Short basically was. Like Uncle Luke was that nigga in Florida. You heard me? Like,
right.
put out dozens of albums, nigga, and probably didn't gold every single album in Florida. But how many hits went national for somebody that has that kind of profile?
Mm-hmm.
Gabe, what do you think Too Short's biggest song was?
I forget the name of the song, but it was like, it wasn't Pimpin' Ain't Easy. It was Pimp Like Short or something like that. I don't remember the name of the song. Why? What was it? You there?
I'm there. Just want to make sure that I'm right.
Oh. Blow the Whistle?
Nope. And you
It
would think Blow the Whistle because you know it, but not even close.
Really? What was it?
A record called The Ghetto.
Oh, The Ghetto. Yeah, yeah.
1990.
Yep.
Short Dogs in the House. The Ghetto.
The Ghetto.
By the way, his only top 40 record ever.
I believe that.
Not even Blow the Whistle was a top 40 record. Matter of fact, Blow the Whistle didn't even make the top 100.
That's crazy, right? And everybody knows that. Yo, what up, Daniel? Where's Scarface on the list? We got to talk about Face.
Yeah, he ain't there yet. So here's what I would say. I think even without the numbers needing to tell you that, Too Short is the epitome of a regional artist. A regional artist whose region is so huge and whose tentacles reach so far that he is one of the OGs in this whole thing, and his name is respected no matter where you go. Think about that correlation to not be on the same level of Drake when it comes to successfulness. To only have one top 40 single ever in your entire career, and it's not even the one song that everybody knows, which is nuts. But to be everybody who is somebody would say, nah, Short is him. That says a whole lot about you as an artist. I think so.
No,
so he got sales, he got numbers, he's super influential. He's synonymous with West Coast rap. I think you put him on the Mount Rushmore of West Coast artists. He going tier 5. And the only reason why he ain't higher for me is because national breakthrough is important. Like it's a whole lot of niggas who be on this list, bro. If you look at the region, like if Jada Kiss was only if we let Jada Kiss, like you telling me as a New York artist he ain't tier 1, tier 2, like his influence, the way people respect his pen and did numbers and he not tier 2. Like it's levels. You got to have something that breaks out in your own country, bro. You can't be him and you ain't never had a song go top 40. That's crazy. Not one, and you put out 40 albums.
It is a lot of albums, man. He would be higher on the list, in my opinion, if he had like, you know, like if he was on California Love with Dre and Tupac or something, you know, a couple of those like big ones, he'd be higher on this list. But the fact is, he wasn't. All right, so other people that we had that we didn't place, we placed J. Cole. We did not give the nod to Redman. We did not give the nod to E40. Who would fit the same kind of mold as Too Short? I just don't know about him.
Like a super regional guy who could be in this list if because of their influence. Uncle Luke. I named him.
Oh yeah,
like Uncle Luke is Too Short in the South. He
is, and he had a global song though.
And he did.
He had a global song, 100%. Like I think it's still in commercials, you know. So, yo, Dre, did we not place? We voted Dre in, but
we haven't talked about him yet. We didn't vote him in.
Right. No,
you said he should be in this list, but we haven't talked about him.
Because I have a list here that we were checking on. We also haven't talked about Wyclef.
Right.
So let's
and Andre 3 Stacks.
That's who I have next. I have Dre, Wyclef, and 3000 on my list right here. Okay. So let's talk about Dre. We got 5 minutes left. That's a perfect amount of time to talk about Dr. Dre. I set it off last time. What's your thoughts on Dre when we bring him up?
I gotta pull it up, bro. It takes me a minute.
All right. And don't forget, you gotta pull up all his shit. All right.
I got it. Damn.
Dr. Dre.
All right, let's get into it. Dr. Dre has released 3 albums. Just gonna keep it a bean. That's what he got. 3 albums.
Not including NWA.
Not including NWA. Yes, we can get into that. So let's start with him, his solo career. Then we can go back to NWA and talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows about the Chronic. Everybody knows about 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And then he released the album called Compton in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me was more of a collaborative album, but it's considered a Dr. Dre album. So it is what it is. So let's do this. The Chronic classic album went 3 times platinum.
I thought it would be more.
Remember, there's a threshold. So like I'll give you how this works. So he sold 5.8 million total now, but there's a window. They're not counting sales 20 years later. They look at there's a certification window of 3 years. Yes. 3 years. After those 3 years, you can keep getting them, but in your certification window, that's what you got upon release. And they give you a 3-year window because music today lives forever. So eventually, every artist will sell 100 million records. So you have to frame it, or the numbers don't mean anything.
Gotcha.
Because forever, I'm going to keep streaming records, right? So everybody going to go triple thousand platinum. Doesn't matter.
Right.
So
Right.
He went 3 times platinum in his release window. He sold 5.8 year to date, but I'm not going to give no more year to date numbers because that's going to skew the conversation for everybody on the list. He went 3 times platinum. 2001, 1999, 6 times platinum. And then his most recent album, Compton, which was the soundtrack album for the movie, went gold.
I didn't like it, just so you know.
All 3 albums debuted at number 2 in the US.
Damn.
All 3 debuted number 2. Never made number 1, but all of them was number 2 in release on release.
I wish I was number 2.
Absolutely. Singles. Nothing But a G Thing, obviously. That went platinum. Fuck With Dre Day went gold. Keep Their Heads Ringing went gold. Still Dre, which is probably his biggest song, went double platinum, if you ask me. Forgot About Dre featuring Eminem. It's not credited to him, it's credited to M, even though it was on his album. But
that's weird, right? Why do you think that happened?
It's just one of those things, bro. It's like whatever. He probably
that's
wanted
his song though.
Too. It is.
It's his song. We got to give him credit for that. Yeah, it's on his album. All right. But I'm saying for our purposes, we're counting that as his single. And
then the next episode, which went double platinum.
That's probably his biggest joint, bro. Everybody knows the last note from Nate Dogg.
Sure.
Hey. Smoke weed every day.
Of course. I mean, look, Forgot About Dre sold more copies because it's an Eminem record. It sold 2.7, and the next episode sold 2.1. Just putting it out there.
Wow.
But that's the Eminem effect, right? And then I Need a Doctor, which is another Eminem record, went double platinum. Which is that one where he sampled Dre's voice and all that, and Dre did a little verse and all that shit. So as a solo artist, 3 albums, 2 multi-platinum records, 3 or 4 records that went platinum as individual singles. That's Dre as a solo artist.
And then to talk about his collaborative career when he was, 1/3 of NWA, his contributions to that group were immense. I mean, that group doesn't really happen if it's not for Dre. You know what I mean? And their first joint, that's a classic all-time hip-hop album. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give him credit for that. But then beyond that, his contributions in hip-hop with Eminem and 50 Cent, I mean,
we talked about this. This is not a I'm a good executive list.
I know that
would be number 1. This is an artist list.
It is. It's an artist list, but his contributions to the artist, like in this realm, man, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think he's done a lot in hip hop. You know what I mean? So just trying to take in his whole career.
I'm gonna pull up his NWA 2 albums from the NWA just because we talk about him.
Yeah.
I know you feel like it does a whole lot for your argument. To me, it helps, but it's not this big bombshell that you may think. Look, Straight Outta Compton went 3 times platinum. Niggas for Life went gold. That's it.
Straight Outta Compton is the one, though. That's the one.
It is.
That's the one. So all I'm saying is that Dre has been a part of, in my opinion, 2, and in some people's opinion, 3 classic albums. I don't know if people go all the way with 2001. I happen to love the album.
Sure.
Like to me, sonically, that album gets burned in my system because it sounds super dope still. You know what I'm saying? Dre's on here, man. I just don't know where. Like he's I don't know. He can't be 2, so I think he's 3. I think
he's off what?
I think he's in 3. I think he's 3 because he has 2 classic albums in hip hop. He's got a bunch of very notable singles. He has a ton of
classic
influence.
album, and he's been a part of another.
Right.
Just like Lauren.
Right. So that's what he is. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can claim that on this list.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? He definitely has influence. If not from his early days, he has it when he brought Snoop out. Everybody was trying to be Dre and Snoop for some reason for like a whole 2 summers. You know what I mean?
Great point.
You know, and I know we can't talk too much about the production, you know, but he's an artist that definitely has credentials on people's albums as just the producing artist on there.
I would frame that part like this. If we brought production in, then we have to rank tier 1, and Kanye would be number 1 on the overall list.
Right.
Because his combination of artistry and production just outstrips.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, it's crazy. So yeah, for me, the influence, the longevity. He was doing that in the late 80s, came back out. He was still relevant in 2001 when 2001 dropped. Yeah. To me, that span is undeniable, and I think he either belongs on this list, either tier 3 or tier 4, because I could see him being with Buster.
I'm not mad at you. I'll take that argument because I think you're right. He's got success as an artist. He's influential. I look, you could, however you want to put it. Dre ain't a good rapper. This artist, this list is about.
That's not what we're saying. Yeah, no, that's ain't that list. There's a different.
He's not a good rapper, but the reality is, he got numbers. He did work. He's influential. He had a run.
Right.
So for me, he's in tier 4. I can't put somebody with this slim ass body of work in tier 3. Next to niggas that got 4, 5, 6 albums.
You're talking about slim bodies of work, and he's 1 tier above somebody that has 1 album, bro, and 1 song that charted.
We already went over there.
Okay.
The Game.
Okay.
Hold up. The documentary did what? And this is partly because of Dre. Did
2
what?
2 million.
Did what? 3 times platinum.
It went, all right. 3 times platinum, and he had like 3 singles.
Multi-platinum singles.
3.
His
That's
second album.
In his whole life until 50 came along.
His second album also went platinum. You keep forgetting that part. And his third album went gold.
You rocked that second album? You was rocking that one? You was happy?
I fucked with it. Yes.
You was. Don't lie to me for the sake of the
argument.
Like
LAX, blow, and it had shit like One Blood and shit like that up there. It was a good album, dog.
One Blood needed Shine on it. Was it Shine on that?
Shine was not on that record, dog. What is wrong with you?
Listen,
you don't stop coming for Too Short because you put Method Man on this list, and Method Man literally has half a song. It's not even his song.
Method Man,
Mary J. Blige first.
His place in hip hop's undeniable, though. Nobody's gonna be mad at us for having Method Man as one of this.
Listen. For like 5 years, though, Game was the only nigga on the West Coast we cared about. Now tell me I'm wrong.
What?
2003 to 2008, we didn't care about any other West Coast artists at all except Game. The West Coast was considered dead. Remember that era? It was considered dead. No one else mattered but Game.
Yeah, I guess there was a time. I don't know if it was that long, but there was definitely a time where it was irrelevant.
308. Name another rapper from that era. It doesn't exist. Kendrick and all them niggas came afterwards. The West Coast was dead. Dre stopped making records. Snoop went on a hiatus with the No Limit. Then he dropped off the map for like 5 years. He dropped Drop It Like It's Hot and all that shit with the fucking weird shit. And then he just stopped making music for like 5 years. No one cared. He was out of here.
Shout out to my nephew. Shout out nephew over here. He said, I say influential. He's tier 1 as an artist. He's tier 4 in my opinion. You talking about Dre or you talking about Game?
He's talking about Dre's influence, bro. I agree with that. Dre is tier 4. His influence is top tier.
Right.
But this is a rapper list.
Yeah. See, I love my nephew, man. Shout out to my nephew and his family out there. Temper. I say that in my Eminem voice. I got mad y'all don't have Reggie. Yo, because you know what it is about Reggie? Reggie is everybody's, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. That's who Reggie is, and we recognize that. Yeah. But he just never it never popped for him as much as Method Man was around him and they had a couple of joints and he's known. He just his success is very modest in compared to the rest of this list. His success is very modest compared to.
I like Muddy Waters. I
love
love
Money Water.
that.
Son,
But like,
his first album is ridiculous, bro. What
he
the
don't got
album?
he don't got the math to back him up. Like, talk
No.
about being regional. Like,
Yeah.
everybody know Red, but like, I feel like he's more popping from being on How High and doing MTV Cribs. Like, niggas was laughing at him on MTV Cribs with the broken doorbell and the, you know what I mean, the hood house.
I love Reggie. I love him, but yeah. He's not gonna make a top 50 all time, greatest, most successful, if you will,
influential,
but his influence is there. Don't get that part to it. And if we're just talking about, rapping, then yeah, Reggie's gonna get talked about extensively during that conversation. But as far as this concerned, he'll stay in the tape deck. Man, that's our time, bro. It went fast when you have good conversation. I appreciate you, brother.
I just want to talk about Andre 3000 and how he basically carried Outkast for a decade plus, and he's him for real.
We got him and Wyclef next week.
That's gonna be a great discussion. At some point, we gotta talk about Soulja Boy. And I know it seems really funny to talk about that nigga like this, but even though his run wasn't long, if you see his numbers. For like 3 years.
It's stupid.
He was internet rap, my nigga. Like, that's stupid. All you need, because like the
stupid.
niggas in tier 5 is kind of shaky. So like, yeah, it's some names up here we ain't talked about yet, bro. And look, I'm happy to discuss Reggie on this list if you want to, but I feel like it's gonna be a little embarrassing when you look at the math. But let's do it. I'm with it. Like, we looked at Nori. Remember, we had the Nori discussion. It was like, this is kind of embarrassing, dog.
Here's the thing, is that while his catalog does have classic material in it, nobody's ever going to take that away from Reggie. He's got classic material, period. The thing with him is, like, he don't have like if we talked about Joe Budden, we'd have to talk about the fact that he has this one single that went stupid, right?
And the second one that did successful, it was successful as well too.
Right, but
yeah,
the rest of that argument would be about his mood music joints. You know what I'm saying? And that would be a very long conversation, because he was running shit with those mood music joints, bro. And then when he was with Slaughterhouse, he did his thing too. Reggie don't have that.
For the record too, I'm looking at his numbers right now just to see if we're missing something. The feeling is not right. And he's exactly what I thought he was, just looking at his numbers.
He's got one platinum album.
Yeah, it's worth the conversation. Let's talk about it. Like, fuck it. Let's talk about it. Let's not.
What did Muddy Waters do? Did Muddy Waters? Don't give me the numbers. That's for next week. Did Muddy Waters do better than What the Album?
No. Wait. No. To answer your question, honestly.
Right.
No.
Right.
They did the same.
See, and which is good.
That's not very high.
Right. It might not be very high, but it's good to keep that level up. Wherever you were at in the first one, it's nice to, you want to surpass, but whatever. For Blackout, King Blackout, that is, for Angie, for Hazel, for Louie, for Cass, for myself, Gabriel. So What We Talking About podcast. Shout out to the Village Global Network, Blaze 'em Up Radio. We appreciate all y'all. Y'all be good. We'll be back next week. Peace, y'all.
In the Middle East.